I want you to remember throughout the whole of this talk that what you allow to go on, you promote what you permit. Okay? If you don't stand up against what I'm about to tell you, right, then you might as well just say, it's okay, get on with it. Because that's what you're doing. I don't want you to think that I'm now whinging about one operation that went wrong. 28 operations in 7 different hospitals over 5 different trusts. Okay? So the hospital I'm referring to is one called St. Everywhere. Some of these operations, 6 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours. You know, we're not talking about minor surgery here, we're talking about massive surgery. When I had, I think it was about my 3rd or 4th bone graft to try and get my femur to heal, after the operation, I'd said to one of the nurses I said, my leg feels really tight. You know, this is an orthopedic ward. Are you going to do some girth measurements? What's that? Well, you measure the leg and you put a mark and then you measure it again a bit later on. And I had enough time for my missus to travel home to Southport, 18 miles away, to come back with a marker pen and a tape so that I could do it myself. And it was increasing about 5 millimeters every half an hour. Well, there's only one thing that's going to happen. I don't know if you've ever had compartmental syndrome. It really, I was screaming like a big tart, right? They pumped everything into me. I had the oral, intramuscular, intravenous. I had more morphine floating around me than they'd probably kill a horse. And I was screaming. If you'd have given me a rusty old knife, I'd have cut that leg off myself. The pain was so bad. The reg came in, brilliant bloke. Had his hand behind his back, and he came over and he just said to me, he said, Austin, I'll sort it. And then he punched me in the leg. He just went, bang. And all of a sudden, it looked like he was pulling something out of my leg. As his hand came away, what it was serous fluid. And it was just hitting him, right? And we had enough time for my sister, who's also a nurse, thankfully, to go and get the house officer, because he said, get the house officer, he probably won't see this again. For him to still come back, and he's still there, finger in the dam, ooh, ooh, ooh. Right. All of a sudden, all the pain went, but that was the result. Talking about when we do things bad, I'm talking about when we do things well. I love district nurses, love them to bits, all right? Because they included me in the care. That was it, and tidied up a little bit, okay? You start to see a bit of granulation coming on. This was secondary healing, this, right? And what you would have expected was massive scar. But we used the leave-in, you know, the foam and leave-in adhesive? And what they did was they stuck it on the top, put a bit of stretch on it, and stuck it on the bottom. And gradually it pulled it together. Now, how's that for a scar? Not bad, is it? But that took 6 months. 6 months of having my dressing done 2 or 3 times a week, not one infection. This is what I was given in the hospital. One after another, infection after infection. Of the 22 nurses, because you get really bored in hospital and you start looking at stuff, of the 22 nurses that cared for me, 2 of them would have passed a basic dressing OSCE that I designed for our students. And these are qualified nurses. Just 2 of them. It's about 10% of qualified nurses are doing dressings properly.